Hello, everyone, and welcome back into another episode of Conversations with Chris and Cameron. And I believe this is episode 6, so we're on a roll right now. Cameron, how are you doing?
And I'm doing great. This is a fun episode, man. Last episode was amazing. The last two we've had amazing interviews, and I hope everybody enjoyed them. But this one is just us chopping it up, talking a little off season basketball and good news and just good vibes in general. So
You're
having a
not
good time.
You're not wrong. Sadly, we do not have a guest this episode, but we have a lot to talk about Kentucky basketball, Kentucky football. So let's get into it. And then also can't forget the new EA college basketball game. Sadly, though, that won't come out until 2028, but that was very exciting whenever that got announced a couple days ago. So I'm excited for that. But we're going to get into it. Jaylen Low and Reese Potter both talked to the media earlier this week, and we're going to be mainly covering that, but of course getting into the recent flip from Kentucky football with Denarius Gray to Kentucky. He was originally committed to Auburn, but it's now at Kentucky. But let's get into it. Let's have a great podcast, and hopefully you all enjoy. So, what did you think about Jaylen Low's interview? I know we talked a little bit about EA college basketball, and I believe Lowe was saying he was going to be like a 92 overall if the EA college basketball game came out. And then, of course, Reese Potter jokingly said he would be a 99 overall. So I thought that was pretty funny when he said that.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Low overall, incredible speaker. I'll just put it that way. It was an amazing interview overall. But I do like that with the uh talking about the game and everything. He made sure to know his role where he was like, all right, what would y'all do with Ortega? And he was like, all right, where's Ortega at? And then he went from there. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, I think a 91, somewhere around there, 92, whatever it was that he
91.
said. Yeah, that's probably spot on. But incredible player, incredible interview. Like we got last week with the BBN tonight, they did a great interview, just pretty short. It was like 6 minutes. This one being whatever it was, 27 minutes.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. I loved it. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it was long for sure, but like you said, for sure with Lowe, uh, he asked the media first, what would he rate Otego away? And everybody was saying like I think a 95, and then of course he said 91. So I believe though once this game comes out in a few years, Kentucky will definitely be one of the top teams, and hopefully Mark Pope will still be around because I know last year for EA College Football 25 it was they didn't have any coaches, and who knows if Mark Stoops will be in this year's EA College Football 26 game. Hopefully he is. I don't know if he is. I haven't read into anything about that, but that would be exciting to see Mark Pope in the game in a few years from now.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know in the college football one, there's only been a few like necessarily confirmed with Sark, Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin, Ryan Day. There's not like a crazy amount that have been confirmed, but I do hope Stoops is in it. But yeah, I mean Pope. I don't remember who it was. I'd give credit to him if I could, but like it's so funny to think about the last time this game came out. Mark Pope was on his way to becoming a doctor
Yeah.
and now he's our head coach. So I do hope he's still around. I think he will still be around, maybe a couple national championships in at that point. But
Oh.
yeah, I'm excited to see him in the game. It's gonna be amazing. They're gonna have to kind of stretch their boundaries a little bit, though. All the other coaches will be about 6'3" and below, but they'll have to make him a little taller and make him cover up some guys on the sideline. But it'll be fun no matter what. I hope to see Pope in that game.
Yeah, can they recreate the handshake between Pat Kelsey and Mark Pope in the coming up game in a few years?
Yeah, where they have to get out a step stool just to look him in the eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
that's
good
pretty
stuff.
fun. But talking a little bit more about Lowe, though, he always had Kentucky as his dream school, and he basically said it's surreal to now wear the jersey he's always dreamt of always wearing because he would always be looking at the blue blood schools. Hopefully, he would get recruited from them, but that never worked out. But then, like we discussed in the previous podcast, with the BBN Tonight interview, as soon as he entered the transfer portal. Mark Pope immediately called him that night, and then the next day came to Minnesota, to talk to him and everything. So definitely, I'm glad Lowe is actually at his dream school, and I can't wait to see what he can do this upcoming year.
Yeah, super excited for him. And it feels like to me, when recruits and stuff would name Kentucky and be like, man, dream school, always dreamed of them growing up. It felt like we missed on so many of those guys. So now it's so super cool to just see all these guys in interviews. I don't remember who else said it. I think Aberdeen may have been one of them, but like, yeah, Diabate was big on it. It's so cool to hear them in the blue and white saying, "Man, this was my dream school." This was like, and it's not just a front. Like you can tell by how passionate they are when they talk about it, how
Mhm.
much they love wearing Kentucky across their chest. Like it just means so much to them. So it's been super cool to see. And Jaylen Low was definitely not shy about it. He was like, "Man, I don't know what did he say it was like a piece of paper or something that he used to write all the schools down on."
Yes.
And yeah, so like
Growing
this
up,
has been a dream school.
and he's like, I gotta find that paper now.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and check that one off.
Yeah, but it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with Lowe and everything. I know we also talking about dream schools, I mean, Ansley Almanor also said that in our podcast that we uploaded last, that Kentucky was always one of his dream schools growing up, and it was cool to actually see him live out his dream. And he was a great player this past year coming off the bench for UK, and hopefully we'll have amazing depth pieces in the near future, especially this upcoming year, because I could see Yelovich, Malachi Moreno, Reese Potter could come off the bench anytime during any game and be productive, whether it be scoring, getting rebounds, blocking shots, or anything.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And like you mentioned with Ansley, one thing Ansley, Diabate, and Jaylen Lowe have all had in common about mentioning it with their dream school, they've also it's proven because they named the players that they loved watch growing up. For Jalen, it was the Harrison twins, De'Aaron Fox, like these Texas guys that they were able to watch. He even mentioned Casey Wallace and threw a congrats in there for him. But like it was super cool to just hear them like name drop the
Hmm.
guys that were like their role models that they idolized and wanted to model their game off after a little bit. Like it's just super cool to like see like it's not like oh they're just saying dream school because that's the answer they're supposed to give like they truly mean it like they can tell you all these guys that I used to watch growing up so that was my thing that I kind of loved about this interview was him saying man the Harrison twins these Texas guys with these ties to the state he's from are the guys that he loved growing up
Hmm.
and some legends that we all love so it was super cool.
I love BB and Legends, and we'll be talking a little bit more about this later. But Jesser becoming a part of La Familia for the basketball tournament, that'll be interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, though, for sure. But speaking of that, I mean, Aaron and Andrew Harrison both recruited Lowe to Kentucky, so that was great to see. And hopefully, since he's now at Kentucky, the Harrison twins will hopefully come out to a game this upcoming year to see Lowe and Kentucky, and also get to hopefully talk to Mark Pope more. I mean, last year, it was their first time probably meeting Pope whenever he took over as the Kentucky men's basketball head coach. So it will definitely be interesting, but I would love to see the Harrison twins actually get to a game this upcoming year.
Yeah, no doubt. I'd love to see them get out and support him, and even Fox as well. Fox has been one guy that was even in an interview last year where he was like, "No, man, I'm bleeding blue. I'm Kentucky through and through." So like hearing a guy that's being the starting point guard for his college that's loved him growing up, like it'll be super cool to hear him kind of talk about that. So I hope somebody asks him or Fox can get out to a game at some point if they have some free time in the NBA season. But the Harrison twins definitely. I want to see them get out and watch our boy and have the Texas ties and them sitting courtside cheering him on.
It'll be interesting to see how the Spurs do this upcoming year. Not to get off topic, but with De'Aaron Fox there, Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and then who did they draft this year? I'm blanking right now.
They drafted Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant.
Yeah, Carter Bryant. I know Dylan Harper. He played, of course, with at the Rutgers with Ace Bailey and good old Ace.
Yeah.
Can't forget
I do
about.
know a lot of Spurs fans were a little bit worried just because of like Wemby being a little injury prone. They wanted to add to their front court. They paid Luke Cornett a bag, so they're doing all right.
Hey, Amari Williams is going to become the starting center for the Celtics now.
Yes, sir. Especially if Al Horford retires. I mean, that's still on the table. So
Yeah.
things are getting interesting. He got his jersey today. So
Curry.
excited to see that, brother. What?
He's modeling his NBA jersey after Kirk Ariza.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I've seen rumors that Al Horford might be going to the Warriors, so we'll see about that. But it would be crazy because Horford's been with the Celtics forever. Of course, he had that one year where he went to the 76ers a few years ago, but I mean, Horford's been most known for the Celtics and the Hawks for most of,
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And then he went to the Thunder at that one point, but he was too good. They told him to sit out, so
yeah.
they were trying to tank a little bit. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, that would be weird to see him somewhere else.
when the Thunder weren't good at that time.
Yeah, yeah, he was helping them win too many games. They're like, oh, whoa, whoa, can't be
Yeah.
doing that.
But all right, getting back to Lowe though, he was also talking about the early team chemistry and culture off the court. They've been just bonding a lot, whether they've been playing video games, walking, or just hanging out. He also talked about the late night gym sessions. He said that he was surprised that quite a few players are gym rats and they're always in the gym like him, and especially late at night.
Yeah, that was really cool to see. I mean, we've seen. I mean, I think Malachi Moreno was probably the last that I remember seeing on Instagram story where they put the time on there and it was like 11:30 at night. Malachi was in there. But that was cool because he didn't even have to drop names because there's been so many of them that are just in there late at night. So there's a different type of grind here at Kentucky for sure. Guys are getting into work whenever they can, whether it's early mornings, late nights. And yeah, so it was really cool to see him kind of answer that. He was like, nobody's necessarily stood out. It's just been everybody because they're just all gym rats, it feels like, and just like him.
Yeah, and speaking a little bit about teammates, he talked about Trent Noah. He said Trent Noah may just be the best shooter that I have ever seen before. He said that in quotes, and honestly, that is crazy to think about because he name dropped his teammate that he played with Blake Henson, and Blake Henson dropped 41 points on Louisville, including 9 threes. A month before that, he went 7 for 7 from three in a win against number 7 Duke, and that was for Pitt back in the 2023-2024 season. So that's just crazy to think about. And if Trent Noah can do that from practice into an actual game, like that will be crazy.
Yeah, I think Henson shot like 42% or something in his career. Like he was an incredible shooter, and he was also a crazy threat for the entire ACC while he was there. Um, so yeah, him dropping that in the way that he was talking about him, like he almost didn't want to stop talking about how good he could shoot the ball. Like he couldn't even get it into words. He was like, "Man, he can just shoot the ball so well." I love TN. So yeah, hearing him talk about the Mountain Mamba being that good of a shooter already, knowing what we also have around him, absolutely amazing. We're gonna be able to light it up at times this year. So I don't think the 3-point shooting is. I think it's slowly dying down as a doubt for Kentucky fans.
I'm still a little doubtful. I don't think we'll be nearly as great as a three-point shooting team as we were last year, but I still think we can get up 20 to 25 threes a game. Of course, I know Mark Pope's goal is to get to 35 threes a game, but that's just tough to do unless you're in the NBA like the Golden State Warriors having Stephen Curry, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler at one point. So it'll be interesting to see if UK actually gets to that goal of 35 threes a game.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of threes, but maybe it happens. I don't know. And I think a lot of these guys, like we've talked about before, with I think a lot of these guys are just going to become better shooters with all the spacing and different things that this offense offers. Because we've seen numerous guys, whether it was Pope at BYU or at Kentucky, guys' 3-point percentages go up like every single time.
Mhm.
And I don't know what the testament to that is. If it's like NBA coaching, because all these guys are legitimate like NBA coaches essentially, and they're very intelligent, or if it's just the spacing of the offense that kind of frees these guys up. But either way, I expect a lot of guys on this team, if not all, to
Mhm.
kind of become better shooters this year.
You're, and you are right about that. Mohamed Diabate has already told the media that he has the green light to shoot. So basically, Mark Pope wants him to shoot nonstop if he can.
Yeah, I mean that's exciting too because he obviously didn't shoot a ton at
Mhm.
Bama, but his efficiency was pretty solid. So
Mhm.
seeing him with the green light is going to be cool.
I think he only shot 24 threes this past year, if I remember correctly.
I think that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. That yeah, and then it was an efficient 24 threes. Like it wasn't. Obviously, he'll be taking a lot more, so the efficiency probably won't be the same. But yeah, it'll be cool to have him with the green light now.
Yeah. And then Trent Noah, just speaking a little bit more about him, I just remember he didn't really even necessarily go off against Tennessee, but I just remember him. He did all the right things against Tennessee in Knoxville, and we were able to escape that game with a 78-73 win. I'm looking at the stats right now. He only scored 5 points and only had one rebound, but he made that big three at one point during the game. I believe it was during the second half. So just knowing Trent Noah can get insanely better. I posted a highlight video of him from last week during practice where he did a no-look pass and then he eventually got the ball back and went up for a dunk. So I'm just excited for what Trent Noah can do in year two at UK, especially under Mark Pope.
Yeah, that three you're referring to in Knoxville, I think his heels on that three might have been on the Harlan County border. Like it was as deep as it gets. But yeah, year two, Trent Noah, like Pope has always talked about it's a 2 year plan with a lot of these guys. Like if they're not one and done good, that year two you'll just see a massive jump. And Brandon Garrison talked about that was the plan initially. So now seeing Trent Noah with a year under his belt, he's going to be a lot stronger. He's going to be a better shooter. He's going to everything's just going to come faster and easier for him. He's going to be amazing. It's going to be tough to find minutes for him, as with a lot of guys, but when he's going to be on the court, I will have no doubt that he's going to be a special player for us.
I hear you. And just talking about a little bit more about Lowe, we're going to talk about the NBA draft feedback and goals that he got from NBA GM, scouts, and everything. And basically, when Lowe withdrew from the NBA draft, GMs told him to go win a national championship in college. And I want him to accomplish that goal. Like, go win that national championship at UK. We're striving for nine. Number nine is the assignment. Let's go get that goal.
Yeah, he referenced that championship a ton. So, nine the assignment is definitely hitting home for a lot of these guys. And yeah, it was super cool where the scouts had kind of said, "Hey, man, just go have a successful time in college." And he even killed it at the combine. But they were like, "Hey, go have a good time in college. Go win a national championship." And he was like, "Well, you ain't got to tell me twice." So that was super cool. And yeah, he just referenced that national championship so many times. I remember uh, he was saying when somebody asked him what kind of drew you to Kentucky, first thing he said was, I want to win a national championship." So then him kind of talking about he wanted to wear Kentucky across his chest. He wanted to win a national championship. He wanted to play with a group like this. It was everything he could have dreamed of and more coming to Kentucky. So the championship is such a huge emphasis, and I love it because I mean Pope just gets it, and he's getting it across to these guys.
And previously under John Calipari, it was just getting players into the NBA. But now with Mark Pope, the new regime, him being the new head coach, it's all about trying to win number nine, understanding the assignment. Last year, everybody knew that Case or not Case and Wallace, but Jackson Robinson, Lamont Butler, Brandon Garrison, and other teammates and players all knew the assignment was to win number nine. Sadly, that didn't happen. They made it to the Sweet 16, and I felt like that was a big accomplishment just due to all the injuries. But again, everybody understands this assignment, even the new players that transferred over and the freshmen incoming as well.
Yeah, no doubt. That was one thing they talked to Jalen about too, where he said it did kind of shock him like how bought in some of these guys are. Like even though they came from other schools, they are so locked in and bought into Kentucky and what it means to wear it across your chest. Like that's just super cool that they all just get it right away. And that's a big testament to Pope, the staff, and really the fan base for just continuing to be the best fan base in all of sports, so that you can't really avoid it. And you just know what it means to wear Kentucky.
You're not wrong. And then as well for the NBA feedback Low got is they wanted him to be able to lead, be a playmaker, and help others improve at a high level. And I know he also said in the interview with the media that Lowe wants to be a playmaker. Like many people think he wants to just score. He's like, no, I want to actually be a playmaker, get my teammates involved, let them be better, get them baskets and everything. So it'll be interesting to see what Lowe can do. I know he's aiming to get the triple double at Kentucky like he did at Pitt, and if he does accomplish that, that's a huge accomplishment as a goal for him.
Yeah, no doubt. And he did say at one point, he was like, "Man, people got it twisted, man. I'm not out there just trying to shot chug. It was just kind of the situation that I was in. But I love passing the ball. It's always been natural to me." So that was kind of reassuring, but I mean, we didn't even necessarily need it because everybody that's talked about him, they're like, man, he's a true point guard. He can pass it, he can handle it, he doesn't have to shoot to affect the game. Um, so yeah, I'm just excited to see him because all reports to this point have been that he's exceeded expectations or at least met them, and meeting them would be perfect. Like it's just amazing to hear.
Yes, you're right about that because if Lowe can perform up to expectations or above it, this team is easily a Final Four team as long as everybody else reaches their expectations and goals. I mean, I'll take you away. I still expect him to be the leading scorer this upcoming year like he was last year. But I mean, at one point, I don't know if UK finished it, but at one point last year, they had six players in double digits at one point during the season. I don't know, like I said, what UK ended up at, but easily you can see six players again averaging double digits with Owe, Aberdeen, Lowe, Garrison, Quaitons. I mean, the list could go on and on. So easily UK could still have six players scoring double digits each game.
Yeah, six, if not seven, eight, nine, 10, whatever. But one guy you mentioned was Denzel Aberdeen, and this kind of goes along hand in hand with the championship because he did say they mentioned Denzel all the time. You got to be the first person to do it at two different schools, win a championship, and like they said, he doesn't really reference it. He doesn't talk about it a whole lot. But it was cool to hear him say that. They were like, yeah, we're on him all the time. We tell him you got to win it. And then he's talked about it before where he's like, man, all y'all got to get one too, so we can just all have it. But it was hilarious in the interview where he was like, yeah, actually, I didn't like Denzel Aberdeen at first. I hated him because I played him at Florida my freshman year when Pittsburgh went there, and he said Denzel Aberdeen was my welcome to college moment. So it's a super cool scenario where we're in now, where they're teammates now after he was the welcome to college moment, and
Yeah.
so that was super cool to hear him talk about that.
Yeah, and then speaking a little bit more about Aberdeen, Lowe also said that he now calls him a gem and a close friend. So that's great that they're already close with being teammates now.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean. It's been amazing to hear the off the court connections for these guys as well because we all know how talented they are. So them getting along as good as they do off the court, it's been awesome. So that being our point guard and him being best friends with the guy that could also run point for us at some point, it's been really cool to see.
Yeah, and then speaking a little bit more about Lowe, I know he said he's been studying Jalen Brunson and mastering the 2 feet footwork method, and I believe that's what made Lamont Butler so great last year. He knew how to play off of 2 feet last year, and that's what made, I believe, in my opinion, Butler's game just explode to another next level, and his points per game went up, shooting percentage went up, everything went up under Mark Pope in Butler's only year at UK, and congrats to him also getting a two-way contract with the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Honestly, hearing 2 feet is PTSD at this point because I heard it my whole basketball career, and then coaching now, it feels like we have to say it at least 50 times a practice, or it's not a practice, and 20 times in a game, or it's not a game. But 2 feet is just so important, and so like Jalen Brunson being the master of it, and you mentioned Lamont Butler being an incredible player off of 2 feet as well. Um, yeah, Jaylen Low, with him being as fast as he is, as dynamic, as quick, all that and having 2 feet, like being strong off two, he's going to be absolutely terrifying for people to guard. He's going to be an absolute nightmare for SEC defenders and everybody we're going to play.
And then if you have your big man in the dunker spot, as long as it's not crowded in the paint, he can just easily throw it up for a lob.
Yeah, yeah, and all these guys are going to go get it. I mean, this front court is crazy. So all these guys are going to be able to do something with it, and
Yeah,
he doesn't have to necessarily put it in the perfect spot.
last year I know UK struggled with that. I'm like, why can't we just throw lobs? I just want to be able to throw a lob correctly and a player just dunk it. Like I remember like Amari Williams struggled to throw down lobs last year, and that's the one thing I did miss. Like I remember early on in the Calipari era, it felt like we would always throw lobs, and I'm not trying to reminisce on Calipari too much. I've mentioned him a couple times tonight, but that's what I do miss about college basketball or the NBA, just throwing up lobs to the big men and then them throwing it down.
Yeah, we were spoiled. We were spoiled with some of the best lob throwers and lob catchers in all of college basketball. Like we had a run there for sure, but that
Yeah,
was definitely a struggle of last year's team. But I mean, we figured it out.
Anthony Davis, Carl Anthony Towns, DeMarcus Cousins, the list could go on.
Marcus Lee, baby. I mean,
Marcus Lee.
I can see Marcus Lee catching a lob in my mind right now against Michigan. Like it's just it's crazy.
It's crazy what he did against Michigan. Good time.
Yeah, what a player.
What a player. And the one player that everybody mentions about being the funniest on the team, and he hasn't actually been here recently, it's been Jasper Johnson, but it feels like every player has said Jasper Johnson is the funniest player that they've met on the team.
Yeah, I mean Jasper just from overtime coverage and then just YouTube videos alone, he does seem pretty funny. And then like Jaylen Low said, he's just got so much energy. He's such a kid, even though Jalen's 2 years older than him. Uh, it was just it's so funny to hear them talk about him being just hilarious. So I feel like the media team and all the guys with Kentucky men's basketball, like they're gonna have some fun making content with him this year.
Yeah, and I would love if Jasper Johnson does stay another year, but for Taylor Kinney and Jasper Johnson to team up, like I feel like they would be the funniest dynamic duo on the court for sure. Like maybe not on the court, but off the court, they would be like the funniest players off the court. And of course, everybody would be teasing Kinney with the 6'7" jokes and everything.
Yeah, they would be quite the duo. I mean, they're already good friends, so it wouldn't take long at all to get comfortable with each other. But what a duo that would be. I hope Jasper is as good as advertised, if not better, and I hope he ends up being like a lottery pick next year, which I think he will be. But I do hope that for him and everybody around him.
I sure hope so. And then just talking a little bit more about the teammates and players with Lowe, he was talking about Mohamed Diabate. He describes himself as a strong, instinctive rebounder with a dog mentality. So everybody's been raving about Diabate, just how strong he is and going after rebounds. And then he also talked about Brayden Hawthorne, talked about how underrated length, a good shooter, and high IQ. But my favorite part about this is Jaden Quaintance. He believes once he is healthy, he'll be a beast, and he's already trash talking about shot blocking. So that's great to hear about Quaintance already trash talking.
Yeah, I loved that. He said, y'all are lucky I'm not out there right now. I'd have sent all of those." So yeah, that was super funny to hear him talk about that. But yeah, JQ doesn't lack the confidence. We don't want him to lack any confidence. He needs to know who he is and what he can do. Because he was, I mean, he did reference that he was like leading the country in blocks before he got hurt. So it's awesome to see his personality come out and not just the interview side of him where he gives all the answers he's supposed to give. Kind of seeing him chirp at his teammates a little bit.
And I did see Jaden Quaintance play one time. He played against UC Cincinnati. That's where my girlfriend went to school. So I got to see him play, and he was just crazy defensively. He was just going after rebounds, block shots, and everything. He didn't score a lot, of course. I don't think he was a double-digit scorer this past year. I think it was 8 or 9 points he averaged at Arizona State. So I didn't see the offensive. Uh, skill set at that time. Of course, in high school, if you saw any of his clips, like he was crazy athletic on the offensive side, but more at Arizona State in that game against UC, I just saw how great defensively he was.
Yeah, he's going to be awesome. And they won't really have to worry about scoring. Like the thing with him at Arizona State, it was he wasn't scoring, but they were also losing because they kind of needed him too. This, I mean, at Kentucky, he's not going to have to. He can play his role, get drafted top five, and we'll win a whole lot of ball games on the way. Like it'll be fun having him here.
Yeah, and talking about low stills, still he believes that UK has the best backcourt in the country. I mean, that's great to think about. Just think about our big backcourt that we have. We've got Lowe, Aberdeen, and Owe, and then off the bench, you can bring in Colin Chandler, Jasper Johnson. I mean, our backcourt is loaded this upcoming year, and I'm just ready to see the possibilities of what will happen.
Yeah, I mean the front court is stacked, and then the back court is also right there with the best in the country. It's gonna be super cool to see all these guys in action and see how Pope gets to use them this year. It's gonna be amazing to see.
I and I believe if they do run a three-guard lineup with Lowe, Aberdeen, and Owe, I could just see Aberdeen being the person that just catches and shoots the whole time. once he gets the ball, he shoots immediately from the 3-point line, or he already cuts in like Kobe Bryant did a lot. I remember Bryant was just always cutting to the rim, and that's the one good thing that Bryant learned this past year under Mark Pope, when to cut into the rim to get an easy dunk or layup. So I could easily see Aberdeen doing one of those two.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm so excited for Denzel. Denzel's gonna be awesome.
And then speaking of Lowe and Ortega away a little bit, he said that he's been talking trash with Ortega, and he said that his squad came back to win 4-2 in a scrimmage. So that was pretty funny to just hear about the trash talk between the two.
Yeah, he was definitely talking trash. He was standing on business with it. He was like, yeah, no, my team beat Ortega's. We won the series and yeah, 4-2 or whatever it was. Like it was funny to hear them a little friendly trash talk right there.
Yeah. My favorite pickup line to use on my girlfriend is, "Are you trash? Because I'll take you out." But she doesn't like it.
What a line. What a
But
line.
use that on any lady. You all got this for sure.
That'll work.
Oh yeah. But and then Lowe also mentions that the UK practices, he says they have felt like SEC games, and basically every practice they've been going hard, so that's going to be great to think about. I mean, like I said, this year's team reminds me of the depth of the 2014-2015 team. Obviously, I don't feel like they are as good as the 2014-15 team, but like this depth is just crazy to think about. And of course, Yelovich and Johnson aren't there currently right now. Of course, Yelovich is still overseas and he's graduating from there, and then Johnson is with the USA under 19 team.
Yeah. Hopefully Yelovich gets here soon. Hopefully things kind of get cleared up there. No, but yeah, Jasper not being there and with how the guys have talked about practice already feeling without those two guys there,
And
it's
Quake,
gonna be
because he's
yeah,
not
and Quayton's being out. Like it's wild. It's gonna be absolute cinema when we get this whole team back.
absolute cinema. Do you have any inside info or scoop whenever you were talking about Yelovich just now?
No, I don't have any like scoop. I just know it like I had heard a few weeks ago before part of the fan base started to like freak out a little bit that things could be a little shakier and it won't be as easy as we thought it was going to be to get him here. Not saying that it's not going to happen because that's not at all what I've heard, but yeah, I did hear that it may not be as easy. And I think it was Jack Togrum, like a couple days after I texted you about that, he had put something out about that, and I was like, yeah, this. But then I had some dude argue with me in a YouTube comment about it. I was like, I'm not going to argue in YouTube comments. This is crazy. But
You'll have
um,
to send me the link for the YouTube comments so I can see the
yeah,
report.
I never said anything back, but I was like, I'm not going to debate with you. And I just left a comment. I was like, I don't know if it'll be as easy as people think it's going to be to get Yelovich here. Maybe a little bit tougher than we thought. And then here we are. We're in July now, and he's not here.
Mhm.
So it obviously stinks. We went through this whole process with Z, but this one was a whole lot earlier, so we were kind of hoping that like, this one wouldn't be too tough, too difficult, but hopefully he gets here. He seems very optimistic though. From all that he posts on social media and stuff, he seems very optimistic about it and he keeps saying soon.
Mhm.
So hopefully there's nothing there. Hopefully the things I've heard are wrong.
Mhm.
But even the things I've heard, he's still going to be here.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
When is that ever easy with UK though?
Yeah, seriously, it's never going to be easy. It's not off season unless there's some drama.
Yeah, either drama of trying to get a player eligible or making sure the team is fully healthy. Well, I just ran into some Wi-Fi issues. Good old Cameron could not hear me, so it's not a podcast without Wi-Fi issues. But like I was saying beforehand, it's not an off season for the UK without trying to get a player eligible or making sure all the players are fully healthy, because it feels like every player gets injured, and we'll be talking about, of course, Jasper Johnson. He was wearing ice on his wrist after today's game, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But we're going to talk about Reese Potter right now. So uh, he was also interviewed by the media, and he wasn't just talking about how he grew up in Kentucky, grew up right in Lexington, and he says putting on the UK jersey is so emotional for him, and that's great to hear because I feel like if you're from Kentucky, it should be like a great honor and pride to wear that jersey across your chest.
Yeah, no doubt. He definitely talked very highly of it, and he knew what it meant. Um, and yeah, he just said he'd always heard about all these guys talking about what it meant and what it felt like to wear that jersey. So finally getting to do it is just the most surreal feeling for him. So it's super cool to see a guy like that that grew up right down the road get to put that jersey on.
Yeah, and then he was talking about whenever he did transfer, he said it matured him a lot, along with Coach Pope. He says that Coach Pope believes that he could be a point center like Amari Williams, and I would love for that to happen if he can run the point, like not run the point, but you get my point. Be able to bring the ball up, be able to find the open man like Amari Williams did that one time or multiple times during the season, but that one time where he ran from one side of the court to the other side and dunked the ball. That was just a surreal moment, and that happened, I believe, against Troy in the round of 64, I believe, and that was just a crazy moment.
Yeah, that was electric. That was absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm excited for Reese Potter, man. He's gonna have it's gonna be cool to see him in UK's system for the next couple of years. Um, and yeah, obviously he may not get a ton of tick this year, but even when he does, I expect him to do big things, and he's gonna be a good player for us.
Mhm. And I did not know this until the interview with Potter, but he said that he's worked with Daniel Orton since high school and that he's developed his inside out game with him. And I didn't know that. I'm like, wow, Orton is actually training, some of our players now or players that weren't even committed to UK. And that must have been a surreal moment for him as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't realize Orton was doing trainings and stuff, but uh, and yeah, he said since his freshman year of high school, him and Orton have kind of they've had physical runs and done ones and stuff. And
Mhm.
he said he said he still talks to him daily, and he's been a big part of his journey and helped him grow a whole lot in basketball. So that was super cool to hear.
Yeah, and then of course last year he played with La Familia. Daniel Orton did, so we'll see. Maybe that's one of the reasons why he was helping out Reese Potter. I mean, in the summertime, most players don't have anything to do unless they get to campus where they do summer workouts like right now. But
Yeah,
players have plenty of time to have free time, and maybe Potter came back to Lexington and Orton was able to work him out this or last summer.
yeah. I don't know what Orton's up to fully right now, but yeah, it's still cool. He stays in touch with him, and
Yeah.
that Orton's been training him. I think he said basically since he moved back from playing professional ball. So
Mhm.
he's been in touch with him for a very long time, and
Mhm.
it's a cool little connection
Yeah.
for two random Kentucky guys that I don't think a lot of people would have expected.
Yeah. You're right about that. And then just thinking about Reese Potter a little bit more, he says UK will be one of the best defensive teams in the country, and I don't doubt that. I mean, you've got Brendan Garrison, Jaden Quaitance, Andrea Yelovich, Malachi Moreno, and other players, and it's going to be definitely interesting to see how great Kentucky can be defensively, and of course Mohamed Diabate as well. Can't forget about him. Just it's going to be a great defensive team, and I could see UK scoring 90 points this year and limiting teams to like 70 points.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, and they even talked about what uh what the practices have been like with him as well, like where they've kind of just said like what are these practices like? Have you been able to simulate kind of what this SEC schedule is going to be with this arguably being the best conference in all of college basketball? And like you said, defensively, he said that this whole team can go offensively, defensively, whatever it is. We're the deepest team in the country. He said that multiple times in that interview, but we're the deepest team in the country. Our whole team is just like that. They can all do it defensively, offensively. There's really no weak spot on this team, and so it's cool to hear him talk about the practices like that and continue to harp on we are the deepest team in the country.
Mhm. And he also mentioned that he believes several players are SEC Defensive Player of the Year candidates. And like I said, the players I mentioned previously could easily be up there. Quaitance, uh, Diabate, and then of course Owe could be up there as well, even though he's only a guard slash forward. But good old Owe will definitely be great this upcoming year, and I could see him definitely be a better defender, get more steals this upcoming year because whenever he actually did lock in on defense, he was one of the great defenders, able to get loose balls, steals. So I'm excited to see what Owe can do in year two with Mark Pope as well.
Yeah, yeah, I think this whole team can be special defensively. I mean, maybe Jasper Johnson, maybe he doesn't end up being a credible defender, maybe a
Mhm.
couple others, but like overall, this team's going to be an incredible defensive team.
Yeah. And then just one last part about Potter, unless you have anything else to add about him, is we're going back to the EA college basketball game, but he thinks this UK team would be too stacked and they would be banned in the video game like the Warriors were back in the day with Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Everybody was saying you can't use the Warriors, they're banned from playing online or any matchup.
Yeah, and even though he was hurt a lot, Boogie was on that team too in 2K, so it wasn't fair at all. Every position was just ridiculous. But
And
uh I did want to bring that up though. That was super funny that he brought that up where he was like, "Yeah, this is we're a team. Just being honest, nobody's allowed to use them. If we were in the game this year, you could not use us because we are way too deep, way too talented, way too skilled, all that."
yeah, basically, I would say probably the top two teams that would be banned would be Duke and UK this upcoming year.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so. Maybe I don't know how good they would end up making them. But I bet BYU would have a pretty
Oh yeah.
because they'll have Kata back, Devonta, Rob Wright, Richie Saunders. Like those are Richie Saunders, Rob Wright, and Devonta are three like 90 plus overall guys. Like that's quite the team right there. And then they'll have a lot of guys returning for them. So they would maybe be one, but I think Kentucky's definitely the clear
Mhm.
1-1. Nobody's allowed to use them.
Because probably the starting five would be easily three or four 90 plus overalls if fully healthy. Like Jaden Quayton's easily 90 plus. Muhammad
Yeah.
Diabate, I probably would put him maybe in the 80s overall, 85, 88, probably around there. But then Owe, probably a 95 plus overall. And then whoever you start at your two, and then Low, probably a 90, 92 overall, I would put. So easily at least three players in the starting lineup for UK. In my honest opinion, if fully healthy, probably be 90 plus.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It'd be an absolutely loaded roster. I do have three things. They can be quick. It's just three little comments. He did say because they asked him about like, is it easy for you to kind of listen to Coach Pope because he's a big that's done it. He's been where you want to be. He
Mhm.
did say it's very easy to follow Coach's lead because he's been where we want to go. Talking
Mhm.
about being a guy that played and succeeded in college, that played at the next level. He said all the bigs don't have a hard time at all listening to what Coach Pope says because he's been there, done that, seen it all, done it all. So that was super cool to hear.
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed that or had any comments on that, but I liked that comment a lot too.
I did not notice that, but like you said, it's just great that Potter is actually listening to Mark Pope because, like you said, he's been there before and he knows what it takes to be able to be successful in college, but also the NBA because he was also an NBA player.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cool to hear that. I did just want to note his relationship with Malachi Moreno. I didn't realize they were that close, but they've also added to the trash talk a little bit where he said he actually knocked out Malachi and them when Malachi was a sophomore. It was his senior year. They knocked them out. They didn't end up going to Rupp, but they knocked him out. And then last year, Malachi's senior year, they knocked out Lex Kath to go to Rupp. And
Mhm.
so he trash talked, and Reese kind of hit him back with a little bit like, "Oh, it's just when I'm not there. So you're lucky I wasn't playing." But their relationship seems so cool because he was able to talk about the little trash talk that they have, but also highlight him and say how special of a player he is, and how successful he thinks he's going to end up being in his career. So their relationship is just super cool, being two 8'5", 9 guys that just know each other very well, both in the same front court, and already have that good chemistry.
And you can't forget they're both over 7 feet tall as well.
Yeah, yeah, very similar frame, all that. So it's gonna be super cool to watch them grow together.
I think Moreno might be a little bit stronger than Potter, though, even though Potter is older.
Yeah, hey, Potter might be able to outshoot him though. So
Yeah.
they might have their differences, but it is cool that they're that close already though.
I've seen Potter, or I've already seen Moreno already working on his 3-point shots, so we'll see if he shoots any this upcoming year for UK.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see about all that. But the last thing I mentioned it earlier, where I was saying that like these guys aren't just saying, "Oh, it's dream school," because that's the cliche answer they're supposed to give. Potter was very, very accurately telling he remembers these memories. Obviously, he's a Lexington kid. You expect him to be a Kentucky fan, but he is as crazy as us because he said back when the Harrisons like were out balling and Aaron hits the threes, he said it was spring break and they were in a random restaurant in Florida and him and his friends just went crazy. So he was telling a very detailed story on it. Talking about all these people in Florida looking at him like they're crazy, but that's just Kentucky fans. And he grew up like us, and now he's getting to wear the blue and white. It's super cool to see.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see. And I just remember at least for one of the Aaron Harrison game winners, I was at my grandma's house against Michigan when he hit that three, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, how did that shot go in over Karis LeVert?
Yeah. I'm a very superstitious guy, so I was at the same place, all three of them. I was at my mom's house,
I
so
was.
it's
I think the other two games, I think with Louisville and Wisconsin, I believe I was at my parents' house, and it was great to just see Aaron Harrison magic continue to happen against Wisconsin, and Louisville as well.
yeah. This is the point where he always hits it. Will be my favorite call ever,
It
probably.
is.
Yeah, that's just an iconic call. But that's all I have from the Reese Potter interview. I thought both of them were awesome. I
Mhm.
like how they're doing two a week. It's
Mhm.
been perfect doing two a week.
Yeah, and before Mark Pope was the head coach, this would never happen. Basically, during the summertime, it was all quiet on the basketball standpoint. Like John Calipari would barely have any players. I don't think he would allow players to have summer interviews with the media. So it's a nice change. Of course, Mark Pope didn't do it last year because he had to assemble a team plus assemble a staff. So he had a crazy summer last year, a crazy offseason trying to prepare for last year, and he was very successful and got UK into the Sweet 16. But that's all we have for the player interviews. We're going to talk now about the Joe Craft Center upgrades. If y'all didn't see Tristan Ferris, he tweeted out the new renovations they have around Joe Craft, and I really love it. I mean, they have a display of quotes saying this sacred place or this sacred piece of cloth, Kentucky. So that was a cool addition. And then, of course, they've updated national title wall, includes the number nine, the assignment. Everybody saw that in the UK basketball hype video either last week or the week before. So that was pretty cool. And then my favorite part was the real-time digital tracker for all-time wins. And it keeps fans updated. I love seeing that. Like it shows how many wins UK has, and hopefully they can stay as the all-time winnings program because of course Kansas got their wins vacated a few years ago, and UK is the all-time wins leader.
Yeah, that I did see like the top comment on that was I can't remember who it was, but they said they should keep an all-time wins counter out in like downtown
Mhm.
just to have for everybody to have a reminder of what this place is. Um but all of it. What a incredible group of additions to the facility. Like that's amazing. All of them from the nine of the assignment to the sacred piece of cloth in the
Kentucky.
infamous UK font with the curve how we've had in the past, like everything. It's just like I wouldn't even think of these things, and they're just out there adding the coolest additions. So it's so cool. I love it. It's all just clean,
Mhm.
very very cool, very like it's
Very
just
thought out.
amazing. Yeah, very thought out. I love it all. It's and the emphasis on number nine, the assignment.
Mhm.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the pictures right now. I'll probably add them into the podcast if you watch it on YouTube. But the pictures that Tristan took, I mean, it looks amazing. I just love this sacred piece of cloth, Kentucky. It just sticks out so visual. And then, of course, the championship banners, and you see number nine, the assignment. It's just crazy to look at.
Yeah. It's all so cool. I love it so much. The all-time wins counter reminds me of I don't remember what it is exactly, but Ohio State has in their facility where it says like days till we play Teton, the team up north, and it's like a live tracker of every like millisecond to when that game kicks off with Michigan again, and just like that rivalry. So having a live tracker is just the coolest thing to me. Like having something that keeps updated. That it's just amazing. I love that so much. And like you said, hopefully we continue to keep that, grow on it,
Uh-huh.
add a ton more wins. Hopefully, we just keep separating ourselves from the pack. But
Yeah.
I love all the additions.
Yeah, because at one point, like I said, Kansas was the all-time winning college basketball team until their wins got vacated. So hopefully Kentucky can continue that, be continue to be the all-time winnings program, and then of course catch up with UCLA with national titles as well.
Yeah. Hey, Pope's gonna get us there, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna pass Wooden up and pass UCLA's banners for sure.
I sure hope so. I wish he was a little bit younger. Of course, the other day, in these group chats on Twitter and everything, but they asked how much longer Mark Pope could coach for, and I said probably 8 to 10 more years, I would say. Like I would say at the max, he'll probably coach at Kentucky at 62, but I could see him retiring at 60 because it's so stressful. It's so stressful to be the UK men's basketball head coach. I mean, you saw that with John Calipari for 15 years. He was the head coach, and you saw how young he looked at the beginning of his tenure, and then at the end, he just looked so rough from all the stress from UK fans.
Yeah, yeah, it'll wear on you for sure. And yeah, I could see 8 to 10 years. I could see probably max 12 more, like a 13 year
Yeah.
uh thing total. But I don't know. Pope's got it rolling right now, and I'm just excited to see where he takes us to.
So am I. I'm very excited. And like I said, this team is very deep. I just worry about three-point shooting, but I believe they have, great players who can pass the ball, get ball movement, scoring. Like I said, just a little bit nervous about three-point shooting, but I think we'll be okay. The one thing that I worry about compared to Duke is their size, but UK also has a lot of size as well. So we'll see what happens though this upcoming year. I wish we could play against Duke again, but of course we're playing against UNC instead.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll play other great competition. I am I'm torn on Duke, man, because there's a lot of people that are extremely high on him and a lot of people that are extremely low on him. I'm
Mhm.
kind of in the middle. I can't really decide. I think Cameron Booth is the real deal, but like outside of him, I'm a huge retention guy. So I think it's amazing they're able to bring back Slim, bring back Caleb Foster, bring back Ngamba. Like they're bringing back the right guys, but like they're gonna need Caden Boozer to end up being a special player too. Like they're gonna need something. I think it would have been very beneficial for them to have Tyrese Proctor back
Mhm.
for his senior year. But yeah, I'm just torn on how they'll end up being. Really, I wish we did get to play them this year, but
Yeah,
we'll just whoop up on their little brother.
yeah, with Louisville for sure.
Yeah, yeah, we'll whoop up on everybody else. We'll handle Michigan State, Indiana, Gonzaga, North Carolina. We'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, easy peasy, right? 40-0, everybody.
Yep, 40-0 it is.
40-0, let's do it. So enough talking about Kentucky basketball currently with the team. We'll be talking about Jasper Johnson. Of course, he is on the roster and everything, but he's with Team USA, the under 19 team, and they were playing again today. And sadly, he got taken out during the third quarter. He was actually playing very well, like the best basketball he's been playing. He scored 11 points in 11 minutes for USA in a 129-70 victory over Cameroon. And he looked great up until that third quarter whenever he was going up for a dunk and then a player slapped his hand and then it looked like he got injured. He went out of the game 40 seconds later, didn't play the whole fourth quarter, and um, then he had ice on his wrist after the game.
Yeah, I do want to mention it. It's crazy that Pope went out there and visited him because I'm not sure if Pope is still slept since he took the job. Uh, but it was super cool to see Pope go out there and visit him, and you can tell Jasper really appreciated that. But yeah, like you said, Jasper was balling. He's had some highlight plays, but nothing like a crazy game so far, but yeah, 11 points in 11 minutes playing well against Cameroon and then
Mhm.
gets injured on a, somewhat dirty play. He got hacked. I know they're trying to foul him, but like there's many other ways to foul instead of smacking a guy's wrist as hard as you can. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think Jasper will end up being fine, like you said earlier. Like even if it's a similar injury to Jackson, he'll be back by the season. But
Mhm.
and it's also, the young bones, young muscles, everything like they heal quick. So
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. But it just sucks to see a guy out in another country representing the U.S. and getting injured like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's probably too injured because he did tweet. earlier tonight. Nothing about his injury or his wrist or hand or anything, but you're not making a tweet. It said, y'all see the shoes KY till I die, and he's basically rocking these shoes that are blue and white, but you can see the UK logo on the tongue of the shoes. So I feel like he wouldn't make that tweet necessarily if his hand or if he was actually really injured, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess you don't know what shoes those are.
I do not, like I said, I'm not a big shoes fan.
Yeah, Sabrina Ionescu's. Those are beautiful shoes, amazing shoes.
Yeah, I heard recently, I don't know if it was from a Kentucky basketball player or an NBA player, but somebody mentioned recently that those are their favorite shoes as well. I can't remember.
Malachi Moreno said that.
Malachi Moreno. There we go. That's who it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, they're an awesome shoe. They're very similar to Kobe's. Like the Sabrina twos are close to Kobe fives, which are an all time amazing hooping shoe. So Sabrina's killing it with her shoes. I love them.
Yeah. And then we also want to talk about all the players. Five players are officially on an NBA roster. Of course, two got drafted with Kobe Brea being drafted to the Suns, Amari Williams being drafted to the Celtics. But in our last podcast, we didn't discuss Lamont Butler signing a two-way contract with the Hawks because he wasn't signed then at that time. Andrew Carr got an Exhibit 10 deal with the Portland Trailblazers. And then, of course, Jackson Robinson just signed today on Monday, which came as a surprise. Like everybody's, or today is Tuesday, my bad. Today is Tuesday, but everybody was so surprised that he didn't get signed earlier up until tonight, and he signed an Exhibit 10 deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It took nearly 5 days to land him to get landed on a new team.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Jackson's going to go out there and prove them wrong. He's about to make a whole lot of GMs either lose their job or look foolish because he's going to go out there and ball. And I'm super excited for Lamont and Andrew. Obviously, we didn't get to mention them in the last one, but and like you said, since the last one, Porzingis is gone, Cornette's gone.
Yeah.
Amari Williams might be a starting center in the NBA year one. Like that's amazing to think about. So that'll be really cool. And then Kobe, like we both said, we have no doubt that he's going to be a special NBA player and be on a roster for a long time.
He'll be a perfect six man off the bench for Devin Booker for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, imagine you look over, you're like, ah, D-Book's finally checking out. We just got worn out. He just has 40 at halftime. Kobe Bryant comes checking and he hits three straight right off the bench. So it's going to be awesome to see. And I mean the Suns are making some moves in free agency right now, so the Suns might be all right, even with all these the worst contract in sports history with Bradley Beal. They're
Mhm.
going to be all right somehow,
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah, I still think they need to trade Green though, because of course they traded for him once they traded Kevin Durant to the Rockets. I just feel like Green needs to go bye-bye, in my
Yeah, yeah,
opinion.
they have 45 wings on their team somehow. So
Yeah.
yeah, he could probably go, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Jalen Green, but I think they'll end up being all right. I don't know how, but they're going to figure it out somehow.
Hopefully they will. And like I said, I just did not like the addition of Bradley Beal. Once they got him, I'm like, why would he do that? Like, you don't need three ball handlers on the team.
Yeah, I mean, Ishbia thought he was just playing 2K. Like, there's no way he thought this was going to work out.
Yeah. But like I said, congrats to Brea, Williams, Butler, Carr, and Robinson. And hopefully they have long NBA careers and hopefully they don't have to play in the G League or overseas. But if they do, they're going to do great wherever they land up at for good.
Yeah, hopefully long, prosperous, amazing NBA careers for all these guys. And yeah, I know Kentucky fans are going to follow them and support these guys for their whole career. So it's going to be super fun to follow these guys. And like I said with Ainsley on that interview, the foundation.
The
This was the group. Love these guys forever.
and we will love them forever. And hopefully, with them being the foundation, they can build off of this and eventually win championships, multiple championships under Pope, like we've been saying forever.
Yeah, maybe another wooden run right here with Pope. We'll see. We'll see
That
what
would
happens.
that would be great. But now switching tunes, we're going to just talk about Kentucky football. We're going to talk about Denarius Gray flipping from Auburn to Kentucky. And I wasn't expecting it to be so soon. Everybody was talking about how he would be flipping from Auburn to UK like so many people changed their predictions today to that. And I was expecting him maybe to decommit from Auburn and then open up his recruitment for other teams to get involved. But that didn't happen. He immediately flipped from Auburn to UK, and hopefully come November they can sign him on the national letter of intent, even though they're getting rid of that. I forgot what they're calling it, but hopefully come by November they'll be able to keep Gray on the team.
Yeah, what a flip. I did not expect that at all. That was just shocking because he had been committed to Auburn since January of 2024.
Hmm.
Like it was not like it was. It's not like it's one of these like unloyal guys where
Uh-huh.
they've changed their commitment three times already. Like he's a dude that's been committed for a very long time. And I did see a funny comment, which this is kind of bashing our coach a little bit, but there was an Alabama fan that said something that was like, you know, things are going wrong when Mark Stoops is flipping a receiver from your commitment class. So that was one thing I saw, but I was like, you know what, that's pretty funny. But it's awesome. We got him, and having a four-star receiver in this class is amazing.
For
It's only going to help us, and then maybe another commitment soon that you kind of hinted at. So
Yeah,
yeah,
everybody should know who I've been hinting at. But yeah, four-star wide receiver, like you said. But it's crazy what LaDainian Washington has been doing since he's taken over as the wide receivers coach. And nobody really talked about our wide receivers coach previously, like Dikell Shores. Like nobody really talked about him or other previous wide receivers coach. And it's just crazy what Washington has been able to accomplish in the 6 months, 7 months he's taken over since January, I believe he took over. So just crazy.
yeah, he's been killing it. But that was an amazing surprise on a Tuesday. That was awesome. It's been a great 2 days of news for Kentucky fans. We got EA yesterday,
Mhm.
and then today we get the commitment flip. So it's been awesome to see.
Yeah, a lot of news, and we've been talking for probably over an hour, but it's just great to see that UK football is doing well right now on the recruitment side, and it's crazy how much UK has gotten better since Vince Merrill left, and people are like, did Vince Merrill hold back the UK football program
Yeah,
without
I think Vince was holding back and motivated Stoops.
motivating Mark
Good
Stoops?
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking a little bit more about good old Gray, I saw a funny tweet like you were saying. Everybody was saying that Hugh Freeze was spending all of his time playing golf, and meanwhile, Mark Stoops, a motivated Mark Stoops, wasn't even playing golf, and he was just focusing on recruitment and getting better this spring.
Hey, you want to play for a guy that doesn't golf all the time.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hearing. So, yeah, yeah. I think, yeah. Are you a golfer?
I am not a golfer, no.
I love golf. I played golf. I played 27 holes on Saturday. Didn't even mean
27,
to. 27, 27. But yeah,
27. Good Lord.
27 holes. Yeah, I played 18 at this amazing course that I love near home. And then a friend texted me, he was like, "Hey, you want to play nine tonight?" And I was like, "You know what? Might as well. I don't have anything going on." So, yeah, I ended up playing 27 holes on Saturday. It was awesome. It was fun.
I've tried to get into golfing. Not the fan of it, not the biggest fan of it, but I do love putt-putt golf. I played putt-putt golf a couple weekends ago with my girlfriend. Beat her. So let's go, everybody. I do
Yeah, there you go.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
So
there you go. Yeah.
don't mess with
Golfing is it's definitely not something I'm great at, but I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And just going out with the fellas, enjoying some time with the boys out there. But golf is awesome. I'll always recommend
The question is, what sport do you not play? Because you've talked about
it.
football, golf, basketball, football,
I don't really know. I will never play hockey or soccer. Those are the two.
hockey, or soccer.
Yeah, those are the two. I can't ice skate. I can ski really well, but I can't ice skate at all. And
Mhm,
then soccer, I've just never.
mhm,
I played it when I was little, but the rest, I'll play whatever. I'm down to try whatever. I like tennis. There's been a lot that I've been able to pick up
mhm.
with more free time after I guess retiring from playing football and basketball and stuff.
I hear you. But for me, my main sport is just basketball. That's the only thing I really play. I do love to play cornhole. If somebody has a cornhole set, I'm playing anytime and getting those cornholes.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. I love cornhole so much. Cornhole is amazing. I mean, I was playing. On Sunday, I played cornhole, spike ball, and the foursquare, like the cross net. Yeah, all those backyard games, I'm just a huge fan of. big fan of those.
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's cornhole, spikeball, and basketball for my main three.
Yeah, you got to do pickleball, man. You got to get out there.
Yeah, I'd pick up pickleball for sure. Well, we'll end up this podcast with
Hey, one. Oh, I was about to say, all right,
one
this
last
might
thing
be the thing.
to talk
This might
about
be it.
Jesser. Got
Yes, sir. There it is. Yep. I was like, we can't leave without mentioning it.
Yeah, I can't forget Jesser. I couldn't believe it. It came as a huge surprise. I mean, whenever we were talking about 20 Beckham, like he did not give us any hints or anything, and just
No.
to see Jesser out of nowhere is insane.
Yeah, not even off the interview. He didn't give us a hint on that. Like, I
Yeah.
wish he could have said something. Like, just throw us a little nugget of like something goofy. But I literally had to like check and make sure I wasn't getting like centelled. I had to make sure this wasn't some fake TBT account. I was like, is this like the basketball? Is this La Familia? Like, there's
Yeah.
no way this is real. And then I go and there's the video of Jester. He's like, I'm joining La Familia. It's literally it's the coolest thing in the world because it's a clash of like everything. Like my dad. He was like, "Who is that? Who did we just add?" And then Matt Jones tweets,
So,
"Somebody please tell me who this is." And then I think it was Jack Pilgrim put out. He was like, "I'm told by my 8-year-old this is a massive move for
yeah.
La Familia." I think it's gonna be amazing. I know he's not like the best basketball player in the world, but he's played in the celebrity games. And for
Uh-huh.
those of y'all that don't know, this guy's 31
Very much.
million followers or million subscribers deep. Like the content that we're about to get
Yeah.
behind the scenes of La Familia is going to be it's going to be incredible. I cannot wait. So if you're not subscribed already, go subscribe. It's going to
Yeah,
be
I
fun.
can't wait to see what he's going to be posting on his YouTube channel, and maybe it also goes on to La Familia's website as well, or their social media page. But I am very interested to see what Jesser does, and basically one of the reasons why he was able to get onto La Familia is because he's been friends with Willie Cauley-Stein for the longest of time, and I mean having a great connection like that can get you anywhere.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, I mean, he'll probably end up playing some. Like I don't really know how much he's actually going to end up playing because this is like legit stuff. But nonetheless, this is going to be incredible. I'm excited to see because I have been told that, and it's also I think been kind of confirmed by players that they will be doing the like current roster versus TBT again.
Mhm.
So like that'll be a couple weeks or whatever. But Denzel Aberdeen, I mean, he's like a dang kangaroo. He's gonna jump up and just dunk on Jesser, and it's gonna get like 30 billion views. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna
Yeah.
be hilarious.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. So with Jetser, and basically, in the short video that he posted online, he said, basically, I'm a pro player now with being able to be on this roster, and I just found that funny. I'm like, man, I wish I could be Jetser for a day just to be on this La Familia roster.
Man, no doubt. And honestly, my favorite Jesser video ever is it's because it's a Kentucky player, but he spent like I think it was like 50 hours with Julius Randle. He just spent like a weekend with him. And that video is just amazing. Like if you all don't know who Jesser is, incredible content, super wholesome guy. And he's super fun.
Yeah, I haven't watched a video from him in a few years, granted, because I'm older and I don't have a lot of free time, but I remember watching him. But my go-to person to watch on YouTube constantly was Chris Smoove, and of course, he still makes NBA 2K content to this day, so I'm glad he hasn't stopped the grind for that. But like I said, go-to YouTuber growing up was Chris Smoove.
Yeah, Chris Moo was nice. I always liked Flight back in the day a little bit. I
Or
never played a whole lot of 2K up until like COVID. I didn't play it a whole lot in high school. But now, I mean, in NBA or NBA slash basketball guys, like I'll dabble in some Flight a little bit, but it's really Kenny Beecham and then some Jesser. I like Jesser. His guessing like the NBA player videos are always fun.
yeah.
And then all of the stuff he comes up with is just incredible.
Yeah, you're right about that. And for me, I think the last time I really like watched YouTube constantly watching like people play video games, whether it be Chris Smoove, YMD Gento, or like you said, Jesser. And he was also called Jesser the Laser back in the day before he changed his name to Jesser. But I would say the last time where I consistently watched a lot of videos from subscribers, I would say probably 2019. I know it's been a while, but I just don't have the time, sadly. I wish I had more time. Just working adult now.
Yeah, they're living that adult life, but
Hmm.
I still can't believe like Jesser is.
Hmm.
I was so stunned when it happened. I
Yeah.
was like, man, what did we? And I mean, it's a really big mix of comments because it's people that absolutely love it or people that are like, oh, we're cooked. There's no way we win a game now. But like,
Mhm.
just loosen up a little bit. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's still La Familia. It's summer basketball. Obviously, we want to win, but
Mhm.
like I saw that one comment where somebody had said, I think it might have been Pell's year. I don't want to say that, no, I'll be wrong, but where he said like Peyton Siva and Montrezl Harrell running pick and rolls to pick on Jesser while the Harrison twins' legacy is on the line. Like that. I mean, I don't think he's going to be in
Mhm.
crunch time.
Yeah.
I don't think, but he's also not a bad player. Like, I mean, I think he'll figure it out. I don't think he's going to do a whole lot to like hurt us.
Yeah.
And he's just going to make this team as famous as possible. So it's
Time,
going to be so fun.
time for him to drop 30 points against Louisville this upcoming year.
Exactly. You just hit daggers, and then maybe they'll try to spit on him this year. But yeah, I got to see him do the L's down because he's officially a cat.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's officially a cat. So we got to see the L's down from him. He's La Familia. It's going to be awesome.
yeah, I can't wait for that for sure. And it'll definitely be interesting to see how much playing time he gets. I mean, last year, of course, we had some players that didn't really play a lot, like Brendan Canada didn't play a lot, Daniel Orton as well. So we'll see how many minutes he gets. But like I said, I would just love for him to come onto the court, nail a three immediately, and just play lockdown defense, get a steal, and do all that great stuff on the court.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we added DJ Burns that played for Coach Sean Woods at Southern, played at Murray State before that. We've added him since the last time. I don't know if we've added anybody else though to
We
TBT
haven't
since then.
we haven't added anybody else other than those two since
Yeah,
that.
I wonder if there's anybody else looming. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But I mean, 20 when he said that, he said we got, I think he said two, maybe three more.
yeah.
So then, yeah, I think the last one's kind of the one that's maybe the interesting one. But I don't think it's gonna be John Wall or anything. But we'll see what we'll see
Yeah, I
what
don't
he's got
think
up his
it'll be
sleeve.
Stonewall or DeMarcus, but I have heard rumors of one player that could be
Oh,
playing for La Familia. I won't say who because I don't want to be wrong and be like I put that out there and everybody will be like,
can I give a hint?
huh?
Can I give a hint of who it is?
Depends on what the hint is.
I won't say anything.
You
That
won't say anything?
I won't say anything. I'll just do the hint.
All right, do the hint.
So the only YouTubers, only people watching on YouTube can see it.
All right.
All right,
What was
that's
I don't even
that's the hint.
what was that? I don't even
Do you
know.
not? Is that not who you're referring to?
Oh yes, I get
There
the
we
hint
go.
now.
There we go.
Took me a
If you
sec-
know, you know. If you know, you
Yeah,
know. There we
it
go.
just took me a second to understand the hint, but I understand it.
Yep. Yep. That's the hint.
You did after like hitting a game winner. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
that's
Maybe so.
more of a hint now.
Yeah.
But I think that'll end our podcast tonight. It was another long podcast, but we appreciate the support from our last episode with Ansley Albanor. That's our best episode we've ever had. Hopefully we can get some more guests and hopefully you all also enjoyed the 4th of July because that is coming up this Friday and I hope you all have a great, safe 4th of July for sure.
Yeah. Make sure you all leave comments and let us know who you would like to see us interview. Obviously, within reason. I don't think we're getting like Pope on here next week or anything, but you
We
never know.
could. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, we could. It's not against that. But I mean, yeah, y'all just let us know who you want to see. There's a few that are there we've talked to and could
Mhm.
have lined up soon.
Mhm.
So yeah, it'll be fun. I've enjoyed doing it. And the Ansley, Tawani, both of those were really good interviews, and it's been fun. So yeah, like you said, I hope you all enjoy the fourth. And what an episode! It was fun.
Yeah, and be on the lookout for another commitment for Kentucky football. Hopefully, it will happen this week. If it doesn't, I would expect it sometime soon, but it would be great to get this certain recruit, certain player.
Yeah, the good, really good. A 4 star.
Yeah,
That may or may not have liked something of yours
four,
today.
four-star quarterback, maybe from like Cincinnati. Wink, 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 everybody.
Yeah, maybe plays a little baseball from time to time.
Boop. Base-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good player.
But all right, I hope you all have a great rest of your week and great fourth. Stay safe. But thank you all for watching and listening, and make sure to subscribe on YouTube and continue to listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But thank you all and have a great rest of your week.
Yep. See y'all.